Today I will actually be playing Legacy Death and Taxes, the Thalia Exuberant Shepherd plus Overlord of the Balemurk deck in Legacy, and it's for a good cause. Let's go check it out. In front of you is Legacy Death and Taxes, and I'm playing it today because my good friend and podcast co-host Phil Gallagher asked if I would be a part of his charity for Trans Lifeline, and I was the $2,000 goal in order to play this deck. Well, why would I play Legacy Death and Taxes? Well, we're a combo channel, so traditionally I wouldn't play Legacy Death and Taxes, but for April Fools, I uploaded a video where I tricked some people into believing that I would actually play it. You can find that in the card above. And Phil thought that was so funny. He asked, well, what if you actually played it in order to help out the Trans Lifeline charity that Commander Sealed is running? And I said, sure. And he asked if I would be okay being the $2,000 goal, and I said I would be. Phil actually raised just shy of $12,000, so congratulations to Phil and Thraben University for making that happen for Commander Sealed. And if you have anything bigoted to say, keep it to yourself, because if you put some nonsense in the comment section, I'm just going to block you forever, because I do not care about your political opinions. So yes, back to the video today. We're playing Legacy Death and Taxes, a deck based around wherever it is, Thalia Exuberant Shepherd, a flicker strategy nowadays. If you're someone who played Legacy 10 years ago, you might be thinking Thalia Guardian of Thraben, Sanctum Prelate, and things like that. That is not what Death and Taxes looks like these days. You're a Thalia Exuberant Shepherd deck that blinks your permanents to accumulate value, often with Overlord of the Balemurk. So that way you can go up on cards and eventually, once you're done, get a giant monster onto the battlefield. And we play things like White Orchid Phantom, which happens to be really good in Legacy at the moment because of the colorless Tron decks are everywhere, and this card is very good against those decks. You also have things like Skyclave Apparition, which is good to flicker, Flicker Wisp itself, Recruiter of the Guard, etc. But really what puts this flicker strategy over the edge is that you're a Yorion Sky Nomad deck. So you have a flicker, for lack of a better term, commander in your sideboard that you're able to take advantage of as well. So I am not an expert with this deck, but I do have more range and magic than people would like to give me credit for. I've won Legacy Premier League without ever playing the Epic Storm. I have a long history of playing tempo and burn and aggro decks. I know how to play other decks other than combo, which is my point, and well, we're going to flex some of that today. Hopefully you enjoy the video. If you do, like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff, and I'll see you in the first match. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Match number 1 with Legacy Death and Taxes for real. This is not a meme or a joke. I am actually playing Legacy Death and Taxes today, revealing our Yorion Sky Nomad. Yeah, this seems great. Keep. What I'm really hoping this league is that a bunch of my opponents just mulligan for Force of Will, and we're able to just blow them out with creatures. I think that would be hilarious if like people are just like mulliganing to 4 for Force of Will and then losing to just, 2-2 beat down. They play a Scalding Tarn, they fetch, Basic Mountain into Faithless Looting. Is this Dredge? Gotta be Dredge, right? Cabal Therapy and Golgari Grave Troll. It is in fact Dredge. Either Vial. Yes. Weird that it makes you click 3 times for that. So they have a Cabal Therapy, so I could play the Stoneforge here, but there's a good chance that the card I grab ends up being hit by Cabal Therapy, which isn't great. We'll grab a Scrubland. Play the Stoneforge Mystic. Yes. Ooh, maybe I should have waited, because if I wait, I could grab Lion Sash. But maybe if I wait, it's too slow, because I wouldn't have mana next turn. We'll just grab the Lion Sash anyway and hope that I get to untap with it. Golgari Grave Troll did not hit an Narcomoeba. That's step 1. Come on, no other Dredge effects this turn. They play a basic island. No, Narcomoeba from hand. They did not flashback Cabal Therapy. We're going to auto-yield to this, if it will let me. Say yes. My opponent is saying that they made a mistake in chat. Yeah, I would agree. We'll fetch, Scrubland, activate the Lion Sash. We will exile Golgari Thug. Do I want to burn Swords to Plowshares on the Narcomoeba? I feel like I might. We'll swing. If you watched my Walls video, which isn't my best performance, I certainly made some play mistakes there. There was a number of times in that video where I just forgot to attack because in my head, everything had Defender, and I couldn't mentally get past that. So this hopefully will not be an issue in the video today because I do know how to attack and block, contrary to popular belief. But hopefully no slip-ups today. And the opponent just concedes. Nice. I was worried today about this deck taking a super long time, and hopefully that's not an issue. But our opponent's conceding quickly like that is definitely something that I am interested in. Do we want something like Deafening Silence versus Dredge? Maybe? I'm not really sure. They can cast multiple spells a turn. We might also want something like Disruptor Flute to name Dread Return. So that's a lot of cards coming in. I wonder if you're supposed to just get rid of the Overlord of the Balemurk package. It's just a thought. Probably not a great Solitude matchup either. I could be wrong about that. I don't know if these decks are still playing things like Icarus or not. I don't believe they are. I mean, they have Poxwalkers, actually. What am I talking about? Icarus. Bryant, what year is it? We'll get rid of one copy of Pre-War Formal Wear. That's 86. I kind of think the Deafening Silences are wrong. I'm going to get rid of those. I also don't love Orcish Bowmasters, but I might be wrong about that. Probably get, honestly, White Orchid Phantom doesn't seem amazing to me. Like, they showed us that they have a bunch of basics. And then we'll bring back in an Overlord. We'll try this. I'm also willing to recognize that I am not going to sideboard correctly once this league. Which is fine. It is what it be. Reveal the Yorion Sky Nomad. This hand does not contain Leyline of the Void. Mulligan. This one does. Keep. Get rid of Swords to Plowshares. Leyline of the Void. I don't expect this to lights them out or just like lock them down completely, but I'm hoping it buys time for other effects. We'll play Marsh Flats and pass, and step the Otherworldly Gaze so they did not have the Into the Flood Maw. 3 cards to exile, including the Otherworldly Gaze, so they kept a card on top. And step we will fetch, grab a Shadowy Backstreet. Backstreet's back. Alright. We'll play Marsh Flats, fetch, grab Scrubland, Stoneforge Mystic, and now we'll go grab the Lion Sash. Trigger, yes. Another Otherworldly Gaze. 3 cards to the graveyard, beautiful, including a Poxwalkers. Our opponent just conceded the match. Whew, that was a quick one. We are 1-0 to start off this Legacy League. Packs.com is the new way to open your favorite cards. It's a site where you open digital packs of trading cards like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and One Piece cards, and have the cards you open mailed quickly and securely to you. With a wide range of packs to choose from, such as the latest Magic sets, Kaladesh Inventions, or even Beta. I'm going to open a Beta pack. What's great about Packs.com is you can see all of the cards and their odds of being opened in each pack. Now it's time to open one and see what I get. Come on, Black Lotus! If you don't like what you opened, you could sell it back instantly for more packs, or sell it and pick a specific card from the marketplace over at packs.com/market. If you want to check out packs.com, make sure to click the link in the description of this video and use code STORM5 when making a purchase for 5% extra on your first purchase. We're back at it for match number 2 on the play. Revealing the Yorion Sky Nomad as always. Sure, we'll try it. Our opponent put a nice message in chat about how they appreciate all I do for the community and all that stuff, which is wonderful. It truly warms my heart. But I'm hoping they kept a hand that loses to Death and Taxes. So they know what I typically play. Let's see if they perhaps keep a hand they shouldn't. No land, discard. So maybe Reanimator. We'll grab a Shadowy Backstreet. We'll keep the Thoughtseize, because I have a feeling they're on like Reanimator or something. There's the Atraxa. Play Thoughtseize. They're on blue Reanimator. So I could take the Reanimate and hope that they don't draw into another effect. I could also take the Lotus Petal. Even if they drew the mana for Reanimate, I'm sitting on Karakas. So I think we just take Lotus Petal here. Play Karakas, pass the turn. It appears that our opponent did not draw a land. Aether Vial. We'll play the Aether Vial. Pass the turn. Our opponent going to clean up again, likely to discard the Archon of Cruelty, and they do. Auto yield. Yes. Another Stoneforge Mystic. I will just pass the turn. We know that they have a daze, so I don't want them to daze a Swords to Plowshares. It looks like they're going to clean up again, gets rid of Thoughtseize. Okay. This is my kind of magic, the kind where my opponents do nothing. Witch Enchanter, we'll play that as a land. Ouch. Stoneforge Mystic. They force a will, exiling Careful Study. We will pass. They drew Verdant Catacombs, so they can now reanimate the Archon of Cruelty. And they have Daze backup. Okay. We'll discard the Skyclave Apparition. End step. Activate Aether Vial. Yes. Stoneforge Mystic. We will search. Go grab the Lion Sash. In the upkeep. Wait, I think I auto-yielded, so I'm not going to be able to respond. I'll just say no. We'll put in the Lion Sash. Swords to Plowshares on Archon of Cruelty. And Bryant Cook, here we come. Beatdown. They have 5 cards in their hand. They have a Polluted Delta. And Thoughtseize. Sure. I believe I only know Daze in their hand. And now they fetch with the Polluted Delta. Underground Sea. Careful Study. It's a second copy of Careful Study because they exiled the first one to the Force of Will. They get rid of Swamp and reanimate. And step will Lion Sash and exile the Atraxa Grand Unifier. And then Lion Sash again will exile Overlord of the Balemurk. Draw for turn. A Solitude. We'll use the Aether Vial. Yes, put in Stoneforge Mystic. The question is, do I want to blow up one of their lands now? And I'm not sure if I do. Or if I should just sit with the Meteor Sword in my hand in case something goes wrong. I could also grab Pre-War Formaware in order to get back another Stoneforge Mystic to grab the Meteor Sword. But that's just a really slow line. I think I'm going to be disciplined and only attack with the Lion Sash here. It's not a race. Like, I just need to control the game. And I believe that attacking with the Stoneforge Mystic or using the Meteor Sword on the Underground Sea just potentially exposes you to losing when you don't need for that to happen. You're just trying to make sure the opponent cannot win the game. Main deck Bones Shards. Really? I will exile the Atraxa. They have 2 cards in hand and one of them is a Daze. I guess I will exile my 2 remaining creatures so that way they can't reanimate them. They have no creatures in their graveyard. Okay, no more creatures in graveyards. Bone Shards resolves. Aether Vial. We draw another Solitude. I will attack for 1, leaving the Meteor Sword back in case I want to use it. They play Flooded Strand for an Undercity Sewers. Kept a card on top of their library. We know that they still have Daze in hand. I will level the Aether Vial up to 4. Obviously, I'm punished by drawing a Recruiter of the Guard. We'll attack. Pass the turn. They play a Brainstorm. 3 cards in hand. And it appears no follow-up post-Brainstorm. I think end step I will use the Stoneforge. Because we can start setting up for Yorion and blinking the Meteor Sword. Alright, Aether Vial on 5. A second copy of Karakas. We'll put Yorion to hand. Play the new Karakas, keeping that. We will attack. They go to 7, which should shut off Reanimate. We'll use the Aether Vial. Yes. Put in Yorion Sky Nomad. Trigger. So both copies of Stoneforge Mystic and the Meteor Sword will exile, then on my end step they'll come back, and the opponent concedes. So we've taken game number 1 from Dimir Reanimator. We'll bring in Leyline of the Void, and I don't think I want anything else out of the sideboard. This doesn't seem like a great White Orchid Phantom matchup because they definitely have basic lands. And I'm trying to think if there's something else I would rather not play. Like, Bowmaster seems fine here. I think I want everything else, so I think it's a pretty clean swap with White Orchid Phantom. And we will submit. Game number 2 on the draw. A 4-land hand, and I think we really want Leyline of the Void. Really a 5-land hand with the Witch Enchanter. We'll mulligan. Down to 5. Keep. Get rid of land number 3. Actually, let's get rid of the Swamp. And Recruiter of the Guard. Put in Leyline of the Void. Okay. They play Underground Sea. So what I'm worried about from this point is them bouncing the Leyline of the Void or Show and Tell. And if they play Show and Tell, I can put in Stoneforge Mystic and go grab Meteor Sword. Ooh, Wasteland. Good draw. Goodbye. Pass the turn. Keeps them off that beautiful, beautiful Show and Tell mana that I don't want to see. They play Undercity Sewers. They kept the card on top. Orcish Bowmasters. I currently cannot cast that. Brainstorm. Unfortunate. Why do I not have 2 lands? They play Misty Rainforest. They fetch. Basic Island. And a Careful Study. But my Orcish Bowmasters, come on. Discards Lotus Petal, Verdant Catacombs, so they must have plenty of mana over there. End step, I'll grab the Shadowy Backstreet. I think I keep the land. Play the Plains, pass the turn. They cast Ponder, will attempt to flash in Orcish Bowmasters. They're going to Force of Will Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. So they do have the ability now to cast Reanimate and target my Orcish Bowmasters, but I think that's fine. We're not really a deck that Orcish Bowmasters is good against. So if they want to spend a Reanimate and 2 life on that, more power to you. They shuffled on the Ponder, 4 cards in hand. And they got rid of Verdant Catacombs, Lotus Petal on the Careful Study. So I have to imagine they have a 3rd mana source, but I could be wrong. They did not play it if they had it. We'll play Marsh Flats. Stoneforge Mystic. Yes, we'll go grab the Lion Sash. Pass the turn. They play Flow State. Maybe I was supposed to get Meteor Sword? I don't know. Maybe I'm focusing too much on not getting my Leyline answered, but their answer might just be Show and Tell. 4 cards still in their hand. They grab another Basic Island and Brainstorm. I will fetch 4 cards in their hand. Grab the Shadowy Backstreet. Get rid of Prismatic Vista. Doesn't help me here. Overlord of the Balemurk. We'll play Plains and pass the turn. Do you have Show and Tell? You've had a lot of time to dig for it. Reanimate on Orcish Bowmasters. I will use Stoneforge Mystic. Put in the Lion Sash. Exile my Orcish Bowmasters. Reanimate will fizzle. Massacre. So I can pump the Lion Sash here. We'll exile a land. And now the Lion Sash lives. That was not a great play by them. Bowmasters is back. Get in there for 3. Pass the turn. So you might be screaming at your monitor, Bryant, you could exile your lands in Stoneforge Mystic. Yes, I'm aware. I know how to play Magic. I am exercising discipline here by not tapping my mana when I don't need to versus a Daze deck. So I am leaving open the possibility of flashing in Orcish Bowmasters, of casting Swords to Plowshares and not getting hit by Daze. I can always exile these things on their end step in order to pump. And they cast another Reanimate. We'll exile the Stoneforge Mystic. Reanimate fizzles. End step, we'll exile our lands. Lion Sash just growing and growing. Why would you need to reanimate a 7/7 when you can just build it slowly over time? We will attack for 7. They will go to 7. We'll play Thoughtseize. Well, that's a hand. I think I'm more afraid of Archon of Cruelty than I am Atraxa. Maybe that's wrong. So I just want to think this through for a moment. If they draw Show and Tell, they put in Archon, I could put in Bowmasters in response, drop the Overlord. Yeah, okay. Archon is less scary than Atraxa. Pass the turn. Or I say less scary. Atraxa is more scary than Archon of Cruelty. That is what I was trying to say. And we win the match. We are currently undefeated with Death and Taxes here on the Combo channel. How about that? All right, let's go win match number 3.
Building a new deck usually means getting hit with a dozen different shipping fees from a dozen different sellers. It adds up fast, and honestly, it's the worst part of buying cards. That's why I switched to Card Trader Zero. You shop their global marketplace, but instead of having every seller ship to you, they ship to Card Trader's hub first. Card Trader then packs everything into a single shipment for you, and it saves a small fortune on shipping fees. This package from Card Trader just arrived. These are 4 Dark Rituals that came from 4 different sellers, but they all arrived in one envelope, and every card was quality checked by the Card Trader team before it hit my door. Check out the link in the description to try Card Trader Zero's optimizer for yourself. Stop paying for multiple shipments and get just one.
Match number 3, we're on the draw. This seems like a reasonable hand. I don't have access to black mana, but there's draw steps for that, so we're going to keep. They play Underground Sea. Thoughtseize. Sure. Concede the match. Come on. Do it. They take Swords to Plowshares. We'll play Wasteland. kill the Underground Sea, pass the turn. They play Scalding Tarn. We draw another Swords to Plowshares, pass. They fetch. Undercity Sewers. Gets rid of Orcish Bowmasters, not surprised. They play Basic Island. And a Flow State. So I could play White Orchid Phantom into Daze this turn, but then their Flow States would also be turned on, and they definitely have a basic Swamp. I think I'm going to just pass here and not play into the Daze. Another Flow State. I feel very smart right now because they could have just had Daze into Flow State that was getting 2 cards instead of 1. Polluted Delta. Another basic Plains will play White Orchid Phantom, and they do play Daze. We'll pay for it. Target your Polluted Delta, I guess. Pass the turn. Seems like a great exchange for me. They just burned a Daze so that way they could surveil. They replay the Undercity Sewers. And a second copy of Thoughtseize. They'll see that my hand is not particularly good. My draws have not been kind. They take the second copy of Swords to Plowshares. Marsh Flats, there we go, baby. Can grab the basic Swamp too so I don't get hoosed by a Wasteland. Thoughtseize, target you. Take that, Murktide Regent. So they have double Wasteland, Mystic Sanctuary. We'll put Urian Sky Nomad to hand. Get in there. Pass the turn. They play the Mystic Sanctuary. Getting back a Flow State. Look at these basics. Scrubland. So I could just slam the Overlord of the Balemurk here. It would get stuffed if their draw was exactly Daze. Otherwise, I would have a 5/5. Full attack. I think I'm going to just play the Overlord of the Balemurk. Here we go. Trigger. We'll return Solitude. I don't really need another Orcish Bowmasters. Pass the turn. They play Flow State. And now a Ponder. They shuffle on the Ponder. An Underground Sea. So I know that 2 of their 4 cards are Wastelands. And now it looks like another copy of Murktide Regent. There it is, an 8/8. We'll play Caracas. Actually, I think it's better to leave up a basic because I know that they have Wasteland, so we'll just spend 5 mana here for Solitude. The only card they could have would be Daze, and I can pay the 1 here. So they'll gain 8, and then we'll attack for 7. They concede. Boom! I don't know if we even sideboard. I don't think I want any card in my sideboard, so I'm going to just resubmit. Game 2 on the draw, we will keep. I don't love that my white source is destroyed by Wasteland, but I'm going to keep this anyway. They have turn 1 Ponder. They did not shuffle off the Ponder. I guess I'll play the Witch Enchanter as a land. It's a white source, which I appreciate. They play Misty Rainforest, pass the turn. So they could be holding open Orcish Bowmasters. Well, they're paused. Maybe they're thinking about playing a Flow State here. Brainstorm. Okay. We draw Marsh Flats. I'll play it and pass. So you could jam the Overlord of the Balemurk into Daze, but I don't really want to do that. Our opponent plays Scalding Tarn, and then they fetch with Misty Rainforest for another copy of Underground Sea. Flow State. Yep, already leveled up. They have Brainstorm and Ponder there. 7 cards in their hand. And step I will fetch. Grab a Shadowy Backstreet. I think I'm going to keep the Orcish Bowmasters. We'll play the basic, and let's play the Overlord of the Balemurk for its impending cost. They Daze. I'll pay. And a second copy of Daze. Sure. Pass the turn. They grab Undercity Sewers. They play Underground Sea. 2 blue mana. Is this a Murktide Regent? No, it's a Flow State. 8 cards in their hand, so they will have to discard. Gets rid of a Misty Rainforest. We'll play Marsh Flats. And Recruiter of the Guard. The Force of Will. Exiling Daze. We will pass. 5 cards in their hand. We will fetch. Grab the other copy of Shadowy Backstreet. Keep the Swords to Plowshares. We'll play Caracas. Pre-war Formal Wear. If this resolves, it can get back the Recruiter of the Guard. And it looks like it's going to. So now we'll use the ability. Yes. I kind of want to grab the Canoptic Scarab Swarm. Pass the turn. Here comes Orcish Bowmasters. No, they second guess themselves and they're going to go to their turn. Sure. Ooh, they drew Thoughtseize. Brutal. They take a Solitude. I was not expecting that. And now it looks like they're going to play Murktide Regent. Okay. I will play Swords to Plowshares. Wasteland. Destroy the Undercity sewers. Attack for 3. We know that they're sitting on an Orcish Bowmaster, so the question is, do you want to play the Scarab Swarm, which will shut off flow states in future Murktide regions? And I think the answer is yes. So they'll play Orcish Bowmasters to kill it, and then I can Bowmasters their Bowmasters. Pass the turn. Another Wasteland. Okay, here we go. They flash in Orcish Bowmasters, and now we'll play our own. Kill your Orcish Bowmasters, and now we'll attack. We have 1 card versus their 3, but I feel like we're in a decent spot. They chump block with the Orc army. Pass the turn. Oh, I probably should have put Yori into hand. Whoops. My bad. I realized it the second I narrated it, but I can do it next turn. It doesn't matter. The opponent just conceded the game. We are 3-0, 6-0. We have not dropped a game yet, because it's clearly my flawless play, right? Right? All right, there's 2 matches left. Hopefully we get those as well. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. The 4th match of attacking and blocking. We're on the draw, and yeah, we'll see what we can make happen. They play Volcanic Island into Dragon's Rage Channeler. 5 cards in their hand. I think we're just going to turn 1 Thoughtseize them here. If they want a Daze, that's fine. Double Lightning Bolt and a Murktide Regent. I think we'll take the Quarry Steelcutter. Pass the turn. They play Scalding Tarn, and they drew Ponder, unfortunately. They did not shuffle. Now they fetch. It looks like they're going to Lightning Bolt me here. Okay. We likely need to keep the Swords to Plowshares for Murktide Regent. I'll take 3 down to 12. Wasteland. Okay. Goodbye to your Volcanic Island. Play either Vial. I probably should have done this in the other order in case they drew Daze. My bad. Small misplay there. Now a Brainstorm. They are drawing well. They have their own Wasteland. And now the attack will put me down to 9. Starting to get a little bit low here. We know that they're sitting on a Lightning Bolt too. Yes. I think I might just have to Swords to Plowshares this Channeler. If they have Daze, it's going to be really bad for me. Force of Will exiles Murktide Regent. Okay, I think I'm actually just dead unless I draw an answer. Because we know that they have Lightning Bolt. So I need to draw like Solitude or another Swords. I go to 6. They Brainstorm. I don't think I have out. I guess, what is it called? White Orchid Phantom could actually buy me time. They could destroy their land and make a blocker. They play Mishra's Bauble. Gets rid of Quarry Steelcutter. They use the Bauble. So I could think of 11 outs here. So they'll draw off the Mishra's Bauble. Either Vial. Yes. Draw for turn. White Orchid Phantom. There we go. Play the Flooded Strand. White Orchid Phantom. Destroy the Volcanic. They have an island. I'll fetch. Grab a basic. Stoneforge Mystic. They have the Daze. Wow. Brutal. Okay. They have drawn quite well. I mean, it happens. I'm not salty or anything. But, so I know that they're sitting with a Bolt in their hand. I think I just have to block. Because, yeah, I need to block here. I was thinking about, well, what if I drew another White Orchid Phantom? But then I'm at 2 and any red source the rest of the game kills me. Mishra's Bauble. I would love a Solitude, please. They'll draw off Mishra's Bauble. I'm actually going to raise the Vial here in case I draw into like a Recruiter of the Guard. There we go. So, trying to think of what I should do here. I think I just play it. Okay, Solitude. Exile the Dragon's Rage Channeler. I'm not going to put the Yori into my hand because I want to Surveil. They replay the Island. Ponder. They did not shuffle. End step, I'll go to 4. We'll grab Shadowy Backstreet. Do I want Felia? I don't think I do. It doesn't help me here. Yes. My game plan is to put this Yorion onto the table. And then I go and draw Overlord of the Balemurk. I think I'm supposed to play this for the impending cost. Trigger, Solitude, and we will pass. They play Brainstorm. Did I turn a corner? Currently 6 cards in their hand, but they have to put 2 of them back. So they'll have 4 cards. They have a Wasteland, so that will shut off me putting Yuri into my hand, most likely. Yes. Draw. Another Vial. Not a particularly good draw here. Yes. Yuri and Sky Nomad. Trigger. Blink the Overlord. Pass the turn. Overlord will return. And now I get to blink again. We'll return Felia, Exuberant Shepherd. Pass. Another Wasteland. Either Vial. No. I don't really see a reason to play out Caracas into Wasteland. Let's attack with the Overlord here. Or should I attack with both? Maybe it's just both, actually. Maybe I'm being too cowardly wanting to leave both back. Or leave the Yorion back. Return another copy of Solitude. And the opponent concedes. Ooh, I did not think we were going to come back that game, but we managed to make it work. Part of me thinks that Wrath of the Skies is probably too slow in this matchup. But I think Thoughtseize is really bad versus like the Lightning Bolt tempo deck. And then I wonder if it's crazy to bring in a Deafening Silence so that way they can't multi-spell. Yeah, I'm going to bring in 1 Deafening Silence. We'll try this. Yorion Sky Nomad. I mean, our mana base is a little sketchy here, but I'm going to keep it. They mulliganed, Misty Rainforest, Shadowy Backstreet. We'll keep the Marsh Flats. Pass. They search out Thundering Falls, Basic Island, Quarry Steelcutter. Not loving seeing this happen. Mishra's Bauble. 3 cards in their hand, but they're about to draw a 4th off the Mishra's Bauble. I wonder what the play is here. Like, this is pretty interesting. So we can do Wasteland Swords to Plowshares, and then Wasteland their Thundering Falls after we don't get dazed, just to slow them down. You could also just like play Marsh Flats into Overlord of the Balemurk. My concern is playing into Daze here. I think I'm going to just pass. They Brainstorm, and another copy of Mishra's Bauble. The free creatures are really hurting me in this spot. I think we're supposed to try to Swords to Plowshares here just to slow them down. I'll take 2 down to 16. Dragon's Rage Channeler, which is almost delirious already. We'll fetch. Grab the other Shadowy Backstreet. Pre-War Formal Wear. I don't think I can afford to keep that in this spot. They draw off Mishra's Bauble. Another Overlord of the Balemurk. Not a great draw. We'll play White Orchid Phantom, which just resolved. I'm a little surprised by that. So maybe they don't have any interaction. They play Ponder. This will give them Delirium for the Channeler. They did not shuffle. They fetch with Scalding Tarn and a Bolt. That hurts. Okay. The Quarry Steelcutter definitely beat me this game. I'm at 7. Yeah, alright. We lost. First game loss. Let's just make sure we don't lose game 3. Let's get rid of the Canoptic Scarab Swarm. I don't think we're going to need that. We'll bring in another Deafening Silence. We'll try this. Game 3 on the play. We will keep Arid Mesa past the turn. They fetch and play Ponder. We will fetch 7 cards in their hand. Shadowy Backstreet. Keep the Vial. That's a good draw. Play Flooded Strand. Aether Vial. Pass the turn. Quarry Steelcutter. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And they get in there for 2. We'll fetch. Shadowy Backstreet. We don't need another land. They draw off Bauble. White Orchid Phantom. That's a good draw. We'll play it. They're going to Force of Will. Sure. 4 cards in their hand. They have a Wasteland. Another Quarry Steelcutter. I don't know if I'm going to be able to come back here. The Lightning Bolt. I would need to draw like Wrath of the Skies. 2 cards in their hand. I'm at 6. We'll say yes to that. We'll play Pre-War Formalware. Getting back the White Orchid Phantom. Kill a Volcanic Island. Pass the turn. They play a Channeler. And a Flow State. That kills me. Bummer. Alright, we are now 3-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. The final round of this Death and Taxes League, we are on the play. Urian Sky Nomad comes back. We'll keep. It's crazy to think how far equipment has come to the point where Stoneforge Mystic no longer searches batter score or Cauldron Complete. Just kind of wild. We'll play basic planes and pass the turn. Windswept Heath. If you say so. I don't know what to think of that. Thoughtseize. I will play Stoneforge Mystic. I would like to use my mana more wisely here, so I could play Thoughtseize this turn, but next turn I can play Thoughtseize and one of my 2-drops, so that's what I'll be doing. I will grab Meteor Sword, pass the turn. They fetch with the Windswept Heath for basic plains, Swords to Plowshares, sure. Arid Mace, is this a mirror match? Probably just Boros energy, and it is. Orcish Bowmasters, we'll play Thoughtseize, target you. Interesting. I think it has to be the Goblin Bombardment. And then I'll play Felia Exuberant Shepherd, pass the turn. And I have to play it on my main phase because Voice of Victory stops me from casting spells on my opponent's turn. They swing, I'll block, and now they play Ajani, and the Query, which allows them to sacrifice and transform the Ajani. Yep. Maybe there was no winning. We're so far behind now. Play Scrubland. We'll Orcish Bowmasters, we'll kill the cat token, and then we'll play Lion Sash, pass the turn, they swing, no blocks. Because of these warrior tokens being red, the Ajani gets the deal damage mode, which doesn't feel right, but it does work that way. Now they can play a Hexing Squelcher and a Wasteland. Yeah, rough spot to be in. Canoptic Scarab Swarm. I guess that makes a couple 1/1s here. Exile your graveyard. Pass the turn. They play Marsh Flats. They fetch. Searches out Elegant Parlor. They keep the card on top. They use the Ajani. They kill the Canoptic Scarab Swarm. And now they swing. I'll kill the cat token and take 6 down to 8. I need to be able to kill the Ajani with the insect tokens. Land was not good. We'll put the Yori into hand. Everything at Ajani. Well, we're leaving the Bowmasters back. Pass the turn. Amped Raptor. Okay. Which finds Swords to Plowshares. That might kill me here. So I go to 10. They attack for 7. But I'm not dead. Close though. I need a miracle. We'll fetch down to 2. I don't know. I really don't know what an out even looks like, but we'll see. Is it another Orcish Bowmasters? Probably not with the Hexing Squelcher on the battlefield. That can go to the graveyard. Well, I don't think it was land number 6. I have 4 blockers, which isn't enough to keep me alive. Because it's exactly dead. So we could just concede now. So I can block 4, but they get 2 1/1s from Voice of Victory that kill me. We want Wrath of the Skies. Don't really love Thoughtseize here. But I think that's really it. I don't think we want anything else from the sideboard either. I'll just try this out. And I think maybe I made a mistake grabbing the Meteor Sword. I didn't know what they were playing. Like, in hindsight, if I had known that they were energy, I would not have grabbed Meteor Sword. But I thought there was a real chance that they were playing lands, which is why I did. Alright, so Urian Sky Nomad, we will keep. This hand is actually fairly good. We'll play Scrubland and Aether Vial. Pass. They have a turn 1 Arid Mesa. We'll put a counter on the Aether Vial. White Orchid Phantom. We'll play another Aether Vial and pass the turn. They grab Elegant Parlor and Plateau. Voice of Victory. Sure. Aether Vials go on up. Yes. And yes. Draw for turn. Wasteland. Destroy your Elegant Parlor. Yes. White Orchid Phantom. Kill your Plateau. And then let's Swords to Plowshares on the Voice of Victory. Pass. They play Karakas and Ajani. Alright, so I will say yes. And yes, I wasn't sure if I wanted to move up to 3, but the fact that I can cast the Bowmasters, I mean, I think the answer is I want to leave myself the ability to draw a 3-drop. I didn't hit what I wanted here, unfortunately. So we're going to double Orcish Bowmasters the Ajani this turn. Kill the Ajani. Get in there. They play a Query and another Voice of Victory. I don't think... Well, maybe I'm wrong. No, I'm not going to level these up. I don't have the 3rd land yet for the Yorion, so I don't think it makes much sense. Obviously, I draw it now. Put Yorion to hand. Swing for 2 in the air. Pass the turn. They play Ajani. In response to the Ajani, I'm going to destroy the Query, so that way they cannot transform it. They now realize that the Ajani's not on the battlefield, so sacrificing the cat doesn't help them here. They grab a mountain. The Ajani now resolves, and they just pass. Yes, and yes. Meteor Sword, not a particularly good draw in this spot. I think I just pass. Goblin Bombardment, I will bounce the Ajani in response. Okay. Throw 3 things in front of the Voice of Victory. Swords to Plowshares, okay. So those bounce. I thought I was in a good spot, but apparently I was wrong. Goblin Bombardment is an issue. So the first one will say yes. Second one, no. Come on, Recruiter of the Guard. What if we just drew a land instead? Ah, bummer. Swing, swing. So I could try to Vial and Yorion here. And then they could sacrifice to kill them anyway. Maybe that's worth it. Maybe they'll mess up. Yes, we'll put in Yorion Sky Nomad. And they are going to sacrifice. And I don't think I want to blink my Vials due to Caracas on each side. Play the land, pass the turn. We know that they're still sitting with Ajani in hand over there, so I am in trouble. They play a Sand Scout and Windswept Teeth. Yeah, I think unless I draw Wrath of the Skies, we probably lose. There's the Ajani. And now they swing with the Voice of Victory. Block with the Yorion. They're going to sacrifice the cat to transform Ajani. And now the Ajani will kill the Yorion. Alright, Wrath of the Skies, let's see it. And now they're going to kill my Orc army. Ooh, I punted. I could have bounced my Yorion with the Caracas. I doubt it would have made a huge difference, but I could have done that. I just realized. Whoops. Minor slip up. Draw. It was not Wrath of the Skies. Okay, we will pass the turn. Even if I do draw Wrath of the Skies, they have 3 cards in their hand to my Meteor Sword. They make another cat. And now they swing. Ouch. I'm at 10. 1 draw step here. Another Ajani. Does this Ajani kill me? I don't think so. Well, actually, we're dead to the Goblin Bombardment plus the Ajani damage. Yeah, I am dead. Okay, cool. I am not going to make them click through all of the Goblin Bombardments. Unfortunately, we got ran over by energy. So we started this league off very hot. We were 3-0. Didn't drop a game, and then, you know, we lost. Losses happen. Death and Taxes seems like a deck you're allowed to register. Congratulations to Phil Gallagher once again for hitting that goal towards Trans Lifeline. Thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this fair content, I don't know if it'll ever happen again, but you know, I'm glad you got to see it at least once. Yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. Thanks for checking out today's video. We are sponsored by KMC Sleeves. I use hard perfect fits on every card in my collection. Doesn't matter if it's a deck, a binder, or a box. And then KMC Hyper Phoenix on all of my decks. They're the best way to protect your cards. And if you're interested in getting your own, visit kmcsleeves.com and use code STORM10 at checkout for 10% off.